China out of Tibet now.
Just delay.
China out of Tibet now. 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 Free Tibet now. Free Tibet now. China out of Tibet now. China out of Tibet now. China out of Tibet now. Free Tibet now. Free Tibet now. Free Tibet now. Down, down, ethnic unity law. Down, ethnic unity law. Down, 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 down, ethnic unity law.
Long live the Dalai Lama!
Long live the Dalai Lama.
Long live the Dalai Lama!
Long live the Dalai Lama.
Tibet belongs to Tibetans! Tibet belongs to Tibetans!
Number so tanda the Washington DC ari jungsa kan dün la tanda miri tundi ge ngo de tan de tholo ngo chi ge re.
Permit number?
Permit number for
The demo? Do you know?
I don't know. Maybe he knows.
I'm sorry? Do you know if y'all have a permit number? If not, it's fine. I just asked.
Yeah.
No, I mean, he's the head of.
Oh, someone has it?
Stop the killings in Tibet! Stop the killings in Tibet!
Tanda the America jasa Washington jana shungsa kan dün la de ngo chi ge re. Tang ngo de kare na jana ge miri tundi ge chingsa chi ta trichinda dungbi ge che chi ni mo la ngso lata shi ge yorwa. Ta dil pemi jinzu ge uchi ge pemi de sani kasa kala ta dil ngole me ba ta dil ngogo ge ngondu tan lengo de pe ge re. Tishe de dil triza dawa zal hapa re re zal hapa la ni tingi ari jasa Washington duilan kranso ge ngogo she shin bi ge namba chi re de yore. Tisho ki chu chi chi ni ngo su gu do ngogo de lengo de.
Tibet belongs to Tibetans! Long live the Dalai Lama! Long live the Dalai Lama! Long live the Dalai Lama! Tibet belongs to Tibetans! Tibet belongs to Tibetans! China out of Tibet now! China out of Tibet now! China out of Tibet now! What do we want? What do we want? What do we want? What do we want? When do we want it? When do we want it? Stop the killings in Tibet!
Stop the killings in Tibet.
Stop the killings in Tibet!
Stop the killings in Tibet.
Stop the killings in Tibet!
Stop the killings in Tibet.
Tibet belongs to Tibetans!
Tibet belongs to Tibet.
Tibet belongs to Tibetans! Tibet belongs to Tibetans! Tibet belongs to Tibetans! Stop the killings in Tibet!
Stop the killings in Tibet.
Human rights for Tibetans!
Human rights for Tibetans.
Human rights for Tibetans!
Human rights for Tibetans.
Human rights for Tibetans!
Human rights for Tibetans.
China out of Tibet now!
China out of Tibet now.
China out of Tibet now.
China out of Tibet now.
Now.
Out of Tibet now.
China out of Tibet now.
China out of Tibet now.
What do we want?
Free.
What do we want?
Free.
When do we want it?
Now.
When do we want it?
Now.
When do we want it?
Now.
Stop the killings in Tibet.
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 Human rights for Tibetans.
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 No justice, no silence.
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 China out of Tibet now.
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 Free Tibet now.
Free Tibet now.
Free Tibet now.
Free Tibet now.
Shame on China.
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 China out of Tibet now.
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 Long live the Dalai Lama.
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 China, China.
Out, out,
China, China.
out,
China, China.
out, out,
China, China.
out, out.
Tibet belongs to Tibetans.
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 Human rights for 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 Tibetans. Down, down, ethnic unity law.
Down, down, ethnic unity.
Down, down, ethnic unity law.
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 Free Uyghurs.
Free Tibet.
Free Uyghurs.
Free Tibet.
Free China.
Free China.
Free Hong Kong.
Free Hong Kong.
Free Hong Kong.
Free Hong Kong.
Free Uyghurs.
Free Tibet.
Free Uyghurs.
Free Tibet.
Free Uyghurs.
Free Tibet.
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 China out of Tibet now.
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 Tibet belongs to Tibetans.
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 Shame on China.
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 Stop the killings in Tibet.
Tibet.
Stop the killings in Tibet. Stop the killings in Tibet. Human rights for Tibetans.
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 Long live the Dalai Lama.
Long live the Dalai Lama.
Long live the Dalai Lama. Long live the Dalai Lama.
Long live the Dalai Lama.
China out of Tibet now.
China out of Tibet now.
China
그럼
out of
맞출 수
Tibet
있겠지.
now. Tibet belongs to Tibetans.
그렇게 일해야 됐습니다.
다리 가도 돼 예미 슝잡 뒤라게 녀게 치가 юм제디 단다 디 가서 로사와지 마 베츠 치가 디기 돌랑 안조 응은지 메라니 슈니 안조 데겜베 샤갈레이 디 юм제디 юм제 망보 슈 차유도 다 당보 юм제 당보데 군조기 휴먼 라이츠 코라기 바이올레이션 레라 니오 데니 안조 벽이 게데 메와서 탑시 치기도 숨바디 에니 안조 부우 누줄라니 단다 롭션 장아디 상마 야미토네 장아디 베진 시고도 군주기 디 간주 응응니 체멜라기 간주 별라 다 연나 맨나데 키다 리숑디레라 안 케시 군주기 야미기 토네 상마셰 간주기 미랍 상마 짬메 땅기 군주기 디 탑시 디레도 안디 간주 응은지 메라니 간주 데트리케 야갈레이 아니 데가란 쉬웨이 아니 게임이 딘지 유주이 안당아 데산에 외진에라 데기요 아니 단당아 Tibetan Youth Congress की president चाहिए तो चुनाव
To Tibetans. Human rights in Tibet.
别再说，先站一遍，好了，俺继续接着去了。啊，先给写嘛嘞。Madam,你可能 interview 接吧？啊嘞，去写的。啊嘞。de tanga hiji kuranzo kamena ge de mundo tan de medu ta hes mundo wa de shedu ta tanda ngi kuranzo ge nje nga hiji le de ge tri nenga dan je ko la jan chigi
Hello，到处入那个呢，就结果我就学医，我做入那个呢，结果我就学医，就是在你们休息都人家都做这个是都那个一个学生能给到呢，然后就结果我就学医，对不对？Hello，他谈过完之后，对这个去对结路我就学医。对这个去对结路接你。是白的对过周围的，不得上班罗贝那么，但这诺在家才中为主，起来给罗做的，多些康所的呗，做个长在中。nam gu ga wa yan ze u ba ko la re u zo lo de she ma da ye bu jo che ga sun ye ye la di ji zo de sa ve ja che se ye be ye ta du de cho cho ye be zang li yang be ye go shi de be la jo bên chỗ bên trước kia thế như gì ta sẽ lên nào bồn đồ cho về xe nào cho mình về như tiền như chi cảm ơn chú take it low Kakamachi this moment of silence for 1 minute Kamachi ngaje nyange shui Tuchena, danganzu tiringi zewu unzu shui without further ado. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for standing with us today. We gather here today because China has come up with another tactic to erase our culture, identity, and heritage. China calls this ethnic unity law, but to many of us, it looks like ethnic erasure, where diversity is replaced by conformity. We stand in solidarity with all those striving to protect their heritage, for the future generations to come. To begin with, I will call upon Mr. Namgat Tenzila, CADA President, to speak few words on the occasion.
미리 균지 폐제 팀세바디 콘서트다 지리 뭐서 나다 지거래 다 팀시 디나 나도 참여하기 뭐 긴게요래 왜 당장 제가 인백갑라 주도 운영업 중 같이 놀라야 아니 근데 집주세 샤백갑라 디기 팀지요래 디젤라야 자나 호란랑 게 세팅지요래 지금 이게 긴이라 디젤라야 여지 캡실로라야 자나 호란족이 산다 미리기 팀지요래 디 참마다 게요래 한데 재미있게 된다 미리 튠디세 심하게 말해 아주 표 미리 베베기 깨지 베베기 최 베베기 리슈 베베기 호보 이살아 남에 다야 되라 건조기 내가 간주 사베가 간주 단다 지기 표미 요도초 참여기 담살아 전제 표숑기 위배 참여기 뭐고 지고래 간주 뭐고 제고래 나 간주 가서 간주 내 게다 키고라 간주 라발라 그러나 네 키주가 말아 간주 예배되다 아마라 아메리카 나라 안주 아메리카 기 미세임에 표바지래 그래서 당 안주기 단대기 전화기 지난달랑 안주 무진대 안주 먹을 해야다 이 전화 호랑수 집시다 계기월에 계지팀다 계기월에 이 지단기 미만기 상조다 계기월에 이 안주 먹을 해야 먹을 타지를 해야 thank you our Tibetan friends Uyghur friends coming over here today as we gather over here to protest against the China's ethnic unity progress law. This is not new for us. This is China's tactic of erasing the Tibetan and all other minorities which is under the Chinese. Tibet since 1951 we have this 17-point agreement with Chinese which is the first ethnic law. Then we have this Chinese constitution. Then we have China's ethnic minority law something. All this right now the Chinese which they are enforcing today this is against all this. So we Tibetans all over the world, we oppose, we reject, and we need, and we call upon the China to repeal this law. Without going further, we have to maintain our Tibetanness. We are the follower of the Buddha. We are follower of the Dalai Lama. So we go not against the violence. So we request our brothers and sisters in Tibet, have your faith on the Dalai Lama. We will continue our struggle. So once again, I request our friends who are gathered over here, let's have some slogans, okay? Down, down, ethnic unity law.
Down, down, ethnic unity law.
Down, down, ethnic unity law. Down, down, ethnic unity law. Down, down, ethnic unity law. Down, down, ethnic unity law. Long live the Dalai Lama. Long live the Dalai Lama. Long live the Dalai Lama. Long live the Panchen Lama. Long live the Panchen Lama. China out of Tibet now. China out of Tibet now. China out of Tibet now. Free Tibet now. Free Uyghur now. Free Hong Kong now. Down, down, ethnic unity law. Down, down, ethnic unity law. Down, down, ethnic unity law.
Thank you, Namgala. Thank you. Now, I'll request President of the National Campaign for Tibet. Taking words. Angela.
Thank you, and good morning, everyone. On behalf of the International Campaign for Tibet, first, I want to thank the Capital Area Tibetan Association for organizing this demonstration here and all the groups represented here today, including Office of Tibet, our Uyghur friends, our Chinese friends, our Tibetan compatriots also from Charlottesville, all of you who have traveled here to stand for freedom, human rights, and dignity. Your unwavering commitment to show up and to speak out against the CCP's repression is inspiring, and I thank you all from behalf of ICT. We are gathered here today because today is the day the CCP's Ethnic Unity and Progress Law goes into effect. This is not just another law. It is a dangerous escalation in the Chinese government's efforts to erase the unique identities of Tibetans and all other non-Chinese nationalities. This is not a law about ethnic harmony. It is a law about identity erasure. It is a law about who gets to define identity. And Beijing is saying only the party gets that power. These policies are not new. Tibetans have been experiencing them for decades through restrictions on our education, religion, and cultural expression. But what makes today so alarming is that this law gives those policies a formal legal framework and justifies the actions of the CCP. It attempts to legitimize what Tibetans have long known, a systematic effort to silence identities that do not fit into the CCP's vision. The European Parliament convened a hearing on this law, where I stressed the risk of arrest, arbitrary detention, or ill treatment of Tibetans living in exile and worldwide if they were to travel to China or Tibet could be affected. Article 63 of this law enables the Chinese authorities to target people outside China for broadly defined acts such as undermining ethnic unity. This provision enables transnational repression of not only Tibetans, but Uyghurs, Southern Mongolians, Hong Kongers, and Chinese dissidents abroad. At a similar recent hearing at the Canadian Parliament, also I raised Article 15 of this law that prioritizes Chinese language over Tibetan, reducing Tibetan language and identity to a subordinate status. This assault on Tibetan culture is already underway. Beijing has put nearly 1 million Tibetan children, roughly 4 out of every 5 Tibetan children between the ages of 6 and 18, into state-run boarding schools designed to strip them of their language, beliefs, and identity. That is why we are all here today. We cannot afford to look away as our Tibetan language, as Uyghur language, as all of our cultures and ways of life that are important to us are under increasing threat. We are here to raise our voices for Tibetans inside Tibet, for our Uyghur brothers and sisters, for our Hong Konger brothers and sisters, for Southern Mongolians, for our Chinese brothers and sisters who cannot speak freely for themselves. We are here to show that the world is watching and that we are here to make clear that no law can erase a people's history, faith, or identity. Thank you.
Thank you, Densila. Thank you. Now we have Mr. Omar Karat from Uyghur Group, and he is Tibet supporter, and he is very much activist. Mr. Omar.
Hello, everybody. Hello, Tibetan brothers and sisters. It is an honor to stand here today with Tibetan Uyghurs Hong Kongers, Taiwanese, and Chinese democracy activists, and so many others who know what it means to resist CCP's repression. The solidarity we see here is remarkable. Diaspora communities and dissidents standing together and standing up for one another is precisely what the Chinese Communist Party fears the most. Our gathering exposes the lie at the heart of CCP's so-called ethnic unity law. July 1st, today, China's new law on promoting ethnic unity in progress goes into effect. Let us be clear. This law does not protect ethnic unity. It gives legal power to forced assimilation. It turns policies already imposed on Uyghurs, Tibetans, Southern Mongolians, and other non-Han people into national law. In East Turkestan, we know what this means. China's ongoing atrocity crimes against the Uyghur people mean that the Uyghur language education has been replaced by Chinese, religious life has been criminalized, families are separated, and forced indoctrination is used to break our identity, to remake our people in the image of the state. This law should alarm every government. Its overseas provision signals Beijing's intent to expand international repression against Uyghurs, Tibetans, Taiwanese, Chinese dissidents, and all diaspora communities who dare to speak truth freely. Now Beijing wants to turn repression into a model for the world. We reject that model. We reject the idea that diversity is a threat. We reject the idea that colonized people must disappear for the state to feel secure. And we reject Beijing's claim that it can target people beyond its borders for speaking the truth. To our Tibetan brothers and sisters, our histories began long before Xi Jinping was born, and they will outlive the cruel regime he leads. To the Chinese government, our message is simple: end this campaign of forced assimilation, end the attack on our languages, religions, families, and identities, end the repression in Tibet, East Turkestan, Southern Mongolia, Hong Kong, and beyond. And to the democratic governments, the United Nations, and all multilateral institutions, do not stay silent. Condemn this ethnic unity law. Reject Beijing's attempt to export authoritarian assimilation. Protect diaspora communities from intimidation, surveillance, harassment, and coercion. Defend the right of every people to preserve their language, faith, culture, and identity, and their right to self-determination. Today we stand together, not because we are the same, but because we have the same right to exist. Our cultures are not crimes. Our identities are not threats. Our solidarity is our strength. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Omar. Now I call upon Ms. Wang Wuqin, the founder of IPA Media and former member of Chinese Political Consultative Conference and from Tibet. Thank you. Thank you for being here.
Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, today is July 1st. It's a painful and a dark day for us. Marking, marking, marking the 105th anniversary of the founding of CPP. For many Tibetans, Uyghurs, Han Chinese, and others who have suffering prostitution from this year. Over the past 105 years, the CCP has brought profound China, especially Tibet, all the Chinese people, Mongolia, Uyghur, for Tibet people, the disaster. For the Tibet people, decades of policies have restricted religious freedom, limited Tibet language education, undermined the traditional culture, weakening Tibet identity and steadily erode cultural foundations essential to survival, to development of the Tibet people. Today, Tibet still under extensive policy control. So today, I would like to focus on the Chinese new so-called ethnic unity law. Although this law is a present promoting the group, it is practical.
오 단다 데 아메리카게 워싱턴 DC 자나 슝소 건들레 드리기 오고데 냥가 쳐보 차거래 다 자나 그거니게 메리튠직 층세 데 진다 두바데 세 지니모라 당무서 라다 시게요와 다 딜 단다 보도 지다 자나 슝무니게 다 페픽 리존다 키 자메 땅다 동신바지 차도 혀레 다 달리 층 라터 셰바 되기 다 층도 라니 다 던지지게 라터 기 토니 다 단다지 층루지 찬도요레 다 딜 mambuchigin dehira bochi masu paina pena rogan china ta rogan tela chi zed masu na thamade nempare se ji tangoni zatong rang tanya ge ki ina re miri ina re donso sama zatong tanya ge chulu jana jinggi chungsu chi ni ta chungtol rang la ta che paina ta ngumali chap chewa ji ta hyujin chewa ta nyanga chewa我顶顶的我就唱那个有的，他的感情不休息，是那的，两个情不休息了，这个有的忙不这个，这些的他准备的了电线呢，加那个每日团这个成龙噻的，我说了他协会个你莫得让了，他这阿里达嘞，对面卡萨卡里有啥东西啥啥卡萨卡了，你可能这个我个的这协会比个当地，number的这些，但我个协会的，阿美国加上华盛顿加那熊市看个，对了我个协会吧嘞。디케드 아니 니딜 미세 트린 데다 제여게 민가 히치라 잔르시기 아니 남바수 닌킨스 멘투니로나 안티나단 데다 낭지기 체나바수 파수 주쿠타 안타다지 토코 가마마치나로시 카인스나 mambu지기 디 첸토쇼바나 니츠디 야보여 쳬비 치완로레 섬도 투지치
Over thinking actually can look is to share the responsibility of us. Only by ending such repression can Tibet achieve genuine freedom, and all the people of China enjoy equality, freedom, and dignity. Let's stand together for freedom, human rights, for future of Tibet, of Uyghur, of Mongolia, for the future of all the people of China, for better tomorrow. Thank you very much. Jessica.
Thank you.
最后我特别想说，共产党它不光是残暴，它是一个毫无廉耻的机会主义者和投机主义者。1936年，中共曾经支持奔巴政府独立，那么现在他又制定的法律完全是一种同化政策，这是我们绝对不能接受的。谢谢。 我们希望各位认清中共真实面目，谢谢。
谢谢 ，Thank you。Yeah, thank you. Tante di baru de jaya la de pero na ngadu di chung su go do jaya.
Long live the Dalai Lama!
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 Long live the Pension 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 Lama!
Free Tibet now!
Free Tibet now!
Free Tibet now!
Free Tibet now!
Tibet belongs to Tibetans!
Tibet belongs to Tibet!
China out of Tibet now!
China out of Tibet now!
Shame on China!
Shame on China!
Shame, shame, China, shame!
Shame, China, shame!
Stop the killings in Tibet! Stop the tortures in Tibet!
Stop the torture in Tibet!
Stop the genocide in Tibet!
Stop the genocide in Tibet!
Free Tibet now!
Free Tibet now!
Free Hong Kong now!
Free Hong Kong now!
Free Hong Kong now!
Free Hong Kong now!
Shame on China!
Shame on China!
Shame, shame, China, shame! China lies, people die! Shame on China!
Shame on China!
Shame, shame, China, shame!
Shame, China, shame!
Free Tibet now!
Free Tibet now!
Tibet belongs to Tibetans! China out of Tibet now! Down, down, CCP!
Down, down, CCP!
Down, down! Human rights in Tibet! Human rights in Tibet! Tibet now!
The bridge conversation.
Come on, President! President Babu! Come on, President!
I know, most of it.
이 근데 연구도 있다. 송 근데 연구도 있다.
Be with us. And also thank you, Capital Area Tibetan Association for organizing this rally. So 76 years ago, the so-called People's Liberation Army crossed into eastern Tibet and began its invasion. 76 years later, the Tibetan people have never submitted. We have not crushed by the military force of People's Liberation Army. We have not been bought off by the economic incentives. We are still here, still protesting, and under the visionary leadership of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, we are still demanding what is rightfully ours. Let us remember what Tibet is. Tibet is a country that has a civilization stretching back thousands of years. Its own language of Tibetans and their supporters wherever they live in the world. Let us be clear about this law itself. This is not the rule of law. It is lawless dressed in the legal language. It violates international human rights standards. It also violates China's own constitution, which in Article 4 promises ethnic equality and freedom for preserved minority languages. It also contradicts the 1984 law on regional ethnic autonomy law, a law that, however, China never enforced, but at least on paper it acknowledged our right to self-governance. Now the two ethnic laws now stand in a direct contradiction. And in any genuine rule of law nation, the law that violates the constitution will be struck down. Instead, China chooses to bury the old promise and legislate the new erasure. For this, the world is not silent. The Czech Senate has passed a resolution condemning the law. The United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights has called China to abolish it. There are also parliamentarians from Italy, Swiss, UK, and European countries are raising their great concern on this matter and condemning this law. Here in the United States, Senator Lindsey Graham and Senator Sheldon Whitehouse delivered a letter to the Chinese ambassador Xie Feng and expressed great concern that it threatens the distinct identity, religious freedom, and fundamental rights of Tibetans, Uyghurs, and other ethnic minorities. And I'm sure many staffers in that building was able to read that letter. And also Senator Jackie Wilson also introduced a resolution along with Senator Curtis, Senator Merkley, Senator Banks that condemns the new law. Chairman Moliner of Congressional Select Committee on CCP also stated China's dystopian ethnic unity law goes into effect as China goes backward in the world again. Central Tibetan Administration, on behalf of the Tibetan people, sincerely appreciate this support, and we are urging everyone to raise your concerns. Tibetans have paid and continue to pay the price confronting China's brutal repression. Our people's language, faith, and identity are not threats to unity. They are the very essence of what makes us human. No law, however cynically named, can legislate people out of existence. Tibet stands, Tibet remembers, Tibet speaks, and the world must listen. Thank you. 베게나리아 나무소야 다린데야 내야 산에 브리지딘 속배 이제 비밀 왕부실레샤 근데 비밀 직수공 원에 단다 계급가기 아니 존재인민의 계급가가 최소기 비밀 한번 인민의 뒤에 상호리아 저와시제 단대기 견나 슝기 견나 마쇼 슝기 아니 미리 튠지 급백이 취임디 니모들이네 락다치야 디가리아 인지미지 딱 디네드인데 야랑고도 없이 계급 망고지나 야내주도 단도 튠도 이강이야 딱 최소 튠미다 계급기 존재인지 이강 세다 세 심벌이야 근데 인지 상바대야 배분 망고실레베 강리아 믹스에 디나야 나기 은 부디 치용체 딘저 셀레벨이야 닝타군에 도시 치치 주인 링기 니모디 차와 딘저 여빈빈에 나부수대야 수수 미래기 깨이다 미래기 신고야 라기 시치 용부디 은가란주 문에 장내기 배배 된다가니야 카즈 뭐인베 락랭외가니야 차례 남으시대야 문제 주요 디야 도시 치치 주야체는 아주 무투제 다른게 대 용배 샘규투야다 샘슈 딘저 시키베 능신체제는 마원바야 배배기 깨이 인베니아레 배배릭 슝인베니아레 디가 낙지 체제 왜냐면 균제 미럽 제마디가야 니 콘솔이야 유림 디가 규제할 그래 마 당고야 디 계정버를 샤체 쉬야니 한 상으로 도저히 나슈야 그래서
Thank you so much. Now we have
all the details.
Director of Advocacy and Partnership will deliver congressional remarks. Mr. Samuelson. I'm sorry, it's Miss.
Good afternoon. Before China's so-called law on promoting ethnic unity and progress even took effect today, the world had already rendered its verdict. So let's read the record. April 16th, as we heard, the 8 United Nations special rapporteurs warned that this law would transform regional experiments into binding national policy. They said that it raised serious international concerns and questioned its compatibility with China's international obligations. On April 30th, the European Parliament adopted a resolution condemning the law, calling for its repeal and targeted sanctions against those responsible. It demanded the release of detained Tibetans, and it rejected any interference by Beijing in the recognition of the next Dalai Lama. Europe spoke. In June, the Congressional Executive Commission on China documented China's expanding campaign of transnational repression against Tibetans and Uyghurs living abroad. The United States Congress spoke. At the House Foreign Affairs Committee, Congressman Michael McCall described the legislation as an Orwellian-named law on promoting ethnic unity and progress, which stamps out minority languages, minority faiths, and minority cultures, all in the name of ethnic unity. He's not a Tibetan activist. He's not a human rights organization. He's a senior member of the United States Congress. The United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights called for this law to be repealed. And the same day, U.S. Congressman Chris Smith and Slovak parliamentarian Miriam Wexner warned that Congress and Washington must be examined for possible genocide or harm to humanity. They called for not violence.
tanda jana ga shungsa kuntu le pemsi ngogo sheshin ba ngogo de jana ke meru tundi gi tungi se chi takmu sutri lata shege yorwa o lata shege yo ba degi ta pe meru ta han ki la hale pe ge ne se chenbo chi ta ya ge re se ge ta tundi gi chi chi ki thone ta khran so ge tanda de ngogo de shin shi ba re nangala commissioner ro kuchin nan ni jan na do ni tanda de 공어 덴시티 톤라 단다디 코리 데라 페요레 아니 코리라 되게 남데 저도 가리 미콜 저 까메슈기 아니 나버스 신기 좀 주시로나 아니 파수지 고셔로시 단당이 전치에 단당 고주기 그래서 그 ngani frame dina dendo e chitaro shingi life in ko the life ki shaja ho frame na tata dendo do frame ko de shipeda frame na tata degdo su degdo pa do spetado do los that during the Washington DC jana shungsa kon duil papa so ge jana ge 진다 dübik che chi ni mo la ta shi ju yin bi ge mir thun de ge ching de la dang ngo go ge leng de ji pe de hyore dring de chang ma re da papa yo sa sa ni mang bo chi lo ngo go de ji pe ge yore ngo go ti thol ko ta ta di ka de chuso ko tin tin thong la de la pe nan do ta di papa so lo ma sun halam ta chi dung de zo pa da bo ching ban ga hi ji ge ha le bi ge za ta bo chi da nga shu bu chi zi ge do
다 직주도 내가 침보래 다 잡아라 봐. 다 디켄고고 알선 거. 자외 개미 시주디 녀만네. 여러 원규 샤브네 고츠업네선 그 미리디 림베 누가 맵스 그 미리디 맵스야. 시주인 바 세브스타리 다 민담인데 녀보 먹고 스타고 다 정유 미리 해야 돼도 이제 때스 맞잖아. 점블링네 통주 야고 인거 말마. 그즉 야나 시슈디 팀다 담바 당대인 뭐디 땡국의 여사 다 지금 정용을 리세하게 산내기 깨서 즉 넘주를 다 철팀 때문에 다 단대 팀이 돼 갈땐 거 같은 다 넘주삼에 무메스 버버서 상만 예민한 시적이었어. 근데 깨르지는 또 자가를 안 잡으랬어. 소소게 지금 요매디 산에서도 예매시 고 말했어. 아니 디다 대외는 나 벽에 남주디 믹스에서 투명이 캐주 먹고 봐. 다 된소에 매버스 먼저 개미 라마르부터 다 개미 초간 동안 다 된소 뛰는제 아니 독스텝이네 개미 남주지 저기 있어 버려. 그디 자타고 스타일이네 자타고 사바 말봐. 자타고 닝버리 당아서 7월에 봐봐. 근데 대들이 차와 거로도마 이내미 아니 워싱턴 위에 봐봐 거로시 아니 다른가 샬럿을네 봐봐 거로 페샤 아니 아주 참에 들이 소고지나 댐하도네 대 중섭 좀 땡고래 아니 산에 사돌 여버스 소수 캐나다에 있는 아메리카에 있는 하와이에 있는 저쪽 투메드 스타일 이게 땅고래 아니 때문에 중섭래 이게 땅고래 주는 시지뱅래 이게 땅고래 다 간단하죠 남주 먼저 가서래 시지라면에 파 재미가 유튜브나 요거랬음
고 단다 팅디게 다 변나로라 지탄 베피기 데다 냐타보지레도 냐타위 간라 다 우비가 둘 디기다 망긴다 보지레베
어디 세버래 망고 시고 섬네 레하바 체 투부요 말 가진스네야 예지도 안에 팀기도 안에 게샤세요 양 조아미 톱당기 딥수된데게 베 조아미 톱당 게샤스 양 추다 리슌 자침부 징행 딥수다 슝여와 카시 슝라 요리 그래서 근데 롱바치기 미리치기 추시다 매선 자원인 정말 깨지면 망고 유도 다 단다봐도 예미 톱스 파둡스 제 톱스 파둡스 제제 간다 베베 추다 리슌 당으로 담으러 와. 그때 단대디 팀이 이 땡캡이나 아니 재미 한바치지 딱 룸베 팀이 가서 룸베 팀 타지에 버렸지 이제 럽도 간도 자원이냐 러야 매부터 말해야 돼 이네 딱 팀그 둘루잖아. 그래서 가고 싶었어.
뭔가 희지기 자나 그 짜팅 장다 게 팅들 지레세고도 짜팅 나로라 지 벽이 담 미리산이 란종 그기 tunsol로 송초시 토당 여들이 다디 디기 토당 매버 조고요
야나랑 저림에 패시 계획을 같이서나 등등 아따 내단데 점블링 나라 계급 상매 써짐다 팀도 계지 팀을 뜬 거고 그 계지 팀 뜬 것도 계지 팀개 친구직 로미 톱단스야 그 로미 톱단스 디날 미리를 이렇게 계 톱단 릭슈도 봐 냠제 계좌다 계지 현조 친구들이랑 있잖아 슈드 대두 눈싸움 세송 제공을 중계랑 누워 다 참고 쉬네. 다이네 중계 이메디 먼저 남자 내가 먼저 그때 초고요 말와. 이내 별명하게 다로 두주 된다 치미네. 닝르 체 소소룸 받아 계획이 심슈디. 이게 되는 차요 말이. 무트는 아주 갈래게 버렸어.
도지치 너서 도지 언제 도지
어째
미순주 소득 시대도다
왜? 그게 전개세 쉽지.
너서 도지 다단다 자나 슝서 콩가 두인텔라 무티 ngogo sheta sheshimbare ani nambaso muti sewa chena se tri mise ya shunchi tri mamboji pesha lo shunchi tri kwanzo ge
Rights of ethnic, linguistic, and cultural minorities to preserve their unique identities. Imposes militarized indoctrination on children.
lo chuji bege peruchi perus zanju lo pogonchi ge
Military drills and fatigues and forced glorification of the Communist Party. Systematically erases mother tongue language. It mandates the prioritization of Mandarin Chinese in schools and public signage, effectively undermining Tibetans' ability to learn, use, and pass on their language to future generations. Criminalizes peaceful expression. The law provides China with a broad legal authority to strengthen punishment for any activities deemed a threat to unity, which UN experts warn will be used to penalize the peaceful exercise of Tibetan rights generations. Enforces social engineering. It utilizes legal mechanisms to mandate housing, migration, and encourage intermarriage to deliberately dilute and dissolve distinct Tibetan, Uyghur, and Mongol identities. Long live the Dalai Lama!
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 Free Tibet!
Free Tibet!
Free Tibet!
Free Tibet!
Thank you.
Good job. I'm sorry. Okay.
Hello everyone. I'm thankful for the opportunity to speak. My name is Vincent, and since I was 4 years old, I've attended Tibetan language school every day. Throughout the time, I learned not only a language, but a history and a cultural identity that generations before me struggled to preserve. I stand here today because I am deeply concerned about China's new ethnic unity and progress law and what it means for the future of the Tibetan people. This law speaks of unity, but unity imposed from above is not true unity. True unity cannot be built by weakening the languages, cultures, and identities of others. Historically, Tibet was an independent nation with its own government, language, religion, and civilization. Tibet did not voluntarily become part of the People's Republic of China, but was brought underneath Chinese control through forceful invasion and brutal suppression of the Tibetan people. Tibet has its own people, language, and cultural identity with a history that goes back long before the People's Republic of China was established. This law is alarming, communist, sinister, and a civilizational violation of basic human rights to speak, think, and live with our own language and culture. When a government promotes a single national identity above all others, minority cultures inevitably become pressurized towards extinction. When only one language becomes the primary path, other languages are forced by design to disappear. I call upon the United Nations and the world to pay attention and urgently intervene in this genocidal law. China knows that as long as Tibetan language and culture exists, Tibet's struggle for freedom and independence will remain. Therefore, they have devised this sinister law to eliminate Tibet from the face of the earth. When I was younger, I grew up hearing Tibetan spoken at home. Through my family, I learned that language was more than just a way to communicate. It carried our history, identity, and connection to the generations before us. As a young Tibetan growing up outside of Tibet, I have a responsibility to keep my language and culture alive. I want future generations of Tibetans to have the opportunity to learn their history and practice their traditions with pride. It is indeed insecurity on China's part to see the preservation of our language and cultural identity as a threat to unity. Even after decades of occupation, China has failed to subjugate the spirit and heart of the Tibetan people and their belief in His Holiness the Dalai Lama. We gather here today to speak out against China's new ethnic unity law and the other policies that continue to undermine Tibetan language, culture, and freedom. While the law is presented as promoting national unity and ethnic solidarity on the surface, in reality, it is a policy of assimilation that has already been affecting Tibetan communities for years. As a Tibetan American, I learned that diversity is not a threat to unity. In the US, I have been able to embrace both my heritage and my American identity. I have learned that different cultures can coexist and strengthen the communities that they are a part of. I am here today not out of any ill will towards any other group or culture, but out of concern regarding China's ethnic unity and progress law and what it may mean for the future of the Tibetan language and culture. Failure to preserve Tibetan language and culture would mean a failure of the free world. I want a future Tibetan children could speak Tibetan fluently. I want them to know their history. I want them to inherit and pass down the stories, traditions, and values that were passed down onto us. Tibetans should have the freedom to remain Tibetan. Thank you and Tuchana. Okay. Pig yellow. Pig yellow. Long live His Holiness the Dalai Lama. Long live His Holiness the Dalai Lama. Tuchana. Holy save. I messed up like 15 times.
Look, I didn't notice that.
It's okay.
Yes. They told them to do it on the spot.
Yeah, that's so messed up. Why didn't they give her time?
They wanna it's
They want
more
kids.
children.
Yeah. Thank God this is done.
Greetings and the solidarity and support from the Uyghur community around the world. We are here today to show this dictatorship Putin government that they are threatened, that they are being threatened by our culture, language, and identity. It's their nightmare. We stay together with solidarity. We are strong as one when we shout together, when we work together.
Did you see in
The
here
Chinese
another
government
thing?
is so afraid of what is making us unique by
Do you see
our
something inside
beautiful
here?
culture,
Opportunity.
our ethnic heritage, as well as our distinct language, that they are now making this legal and the legitimizing and the legalizing their oppression against all of us. They implemented internment camps and the boarding schools tried to erase our identity. Started in Tibet, then they expanded, perfected, escalated to genocide in my homeland, East Turkestan, and then demolished the democracy in Hong Kong, threatening the Chinese dissidents, Chinese Democrats, everyone who defends human rights, and being threatened by the Southern Mongolians, Falun Gong practitioners, anybody who believes in conscience, in humanity. The Chinese government's war on human dignity is belated. Now they are making it legal, and we are not going to allow that. We are going to speak out, we are going to take action, and we work together as one. That is the unity. That our work together is our ethnic unity. But what they are doing is legalizing the genocide, legalizing the erasure of culture and identity. And we are not going to allow them. The Chinese government is afraid of the silence, afraid of the truth. That's why they are putting all of us to silence. The silence is the oxygen of the tyranny. We are not going to stay silent. I did not. When they tried to take my sister and put her in the jail almost 8 years ago because I spoke out, that transformed me for a full-time advocate. And I'm going around and speaking and exposing China's war against humanity. And I call all of you, stand with every marginalized groups and work together for the Tibetans, for the Uyghurs, for our Chinese uh, democratic movements and the Southern Mongolians. We need to work together against this dictatorship government. What's real is cannot be. We are here to tell them that it's not going to work. We are going to tell the world that they are using our homeland like East Turkestan and the Tibet as a testing ground and using what they are doing to us as a part of genocide as a pilot program. This is what they have for the future of the world. If we don't speak out now, if we don't act now, what's happening to Tibet, what's happening in East Turkestan is going to be the future of the world. So let's work together. Let's speak out for our next generations, for our homeland, for those young, brave students that are with us today, because we are all responsible for what happens next. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Roshan. Now I will invite our last speaker, Ms. Sophia Lu, Chinese human rights activist and wife of Ding Jiaxi. Ms. Sophia, please.
Dear brothers and sisters, dear Uyghur Tibetan people, this is the first time I speak publicly representing Han people who support you First of all, I want to say I'm here alone today, but you are not alone. There's many Chinese Han people, not CCP. We support you, stand together with you. We are real united with you at any circumstances from today. My husband was arrested twice just because he is a lawyer. He practiced the rights written in the Chinese Constitution: freedom of speech, freedom of belief, freedom of assembly. Because of that, he sentenced 3.5 years for first time, now sentenced 12 years. I know from my husband's case what the CCP did. They control China completely using lie and violence. They lie to everyone. They lie to the world. They lie to their people. I learned the fact of true Uyghur life and Tibetan life, Tibetan culture after I came to United States. So now I determined, starting from today, I'm going to practice a real united action to make every diaspora into a big family. We are a big family against the CCP. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Miss Sophia. Now, another that government against also that DJ will shout for 5-6 minutes, and then we'll break for lunch, and then again after lunch we'll meet again for maybe 15-20 minutes. After shouting, we'll say the prayer, and then we'll disperse.
Free Tibet now! Free Tibet now! Tibet belongs to Tibetans! Power Tibet now! On China! China, China! Human rights in Tibet! Freedom in Tibet! Free Tibet now! Wake up, UNO! Wake up, UNO! Down, ethnic unity law! Down, CCP! Shame on China! Shame, China, shame! China life, people die! Free Tibet now! Tibet belongs to Tibetans! China out of Tibet now! Shame on China! Shame, China, shame! China life, people die! Down, CCP! Down, CCP! Human rights in Tibet! Human rights in Tibet! Human rights in Hong Kong! Human rights in Uyghur! Free Tibet now! Tibet belongs to Tibetans! China out of Tibet now! Shame on China.
Shame on China.
Shame, shame, shame.
Shame, China, shame.
China lies, people die.
China lies, people die.
Shame on China.
Shame on China.
Shame, shame, China, shame.
China, shame.
China, China, China. Free Tibet now.
Free Tibet now.
China out of Tibet now.
China, Tibet now.
Tibet belongs to Tibetans. Shame on China. Shame, shame, China, shame. China lies, people die. Don't CCP. CCP is a liar. Shame on liar. Shame, China, shame. China lies, people die. Long live the Dalai Lama. Long live the
프레임 따다 되기도 따라시다.
Venezuela.
매니저 통구도 와. 누구도 와. 여보 넣어라. 니자 누구도 해. 네 인터넷에 tiri tanda de America jasa Washington jana shungsa ko nduila bemitsog jana ge ta latar shiju yimbi ge miru tunde ge ta chungse de ngosul trini ma latar shidu ta tela pepa so ngogo shidu nga namzola de jashi pede ling go khong ge nyangshi de se ge genzi bushun sarala yo bushun la ta di ge pepa mambu chi de ngamtra shegoya ta ngamtsa shegoya de ninga de karutu de re
근데 팀 디기 내도 돈에 돈다 니 돈에 다 배배 먼저 배미 저 투선 나온 거에 차. 돈다 찍리 이 공에 다 돈다 파도잖아 슝에 배우 돌 시주 템베 제버디 단에 팀디 남들 열어. 이면에 디 값다 다 데벨로로 팀톨 템베 제메베 제미게 라고 치서 매부터 못 차죠. 다 다다 가차서 제미 배우나 시주 가르 템베냐 근데 라고 치서 해야 팀 딘데지 세저 팀디 근데 팀도 온지 인시야 딘데로 라고 치야게 디여자 찍대죠. 이버들라 팀디 규는 단도 용규 미라 벽 미라 디라 내가 전부 차들잖아. 중 강다 팀디 오토네지 배우나로게 시주 창마 교와 당체 미리 그 모델라 강다 델라 사링도 도야 다 미리 아 리슈르 게리 든도 송격 제야라 그거 용화서야 다 강다 그거 리미 매버서야 되게 지체 이게는 두자노가 디렉션
그렇습니다. 단다 다 배나로라 배기 네탄 디지타 냥암보 지레 히어레다 다두 베디마 두두 로야기 다 랑가다 같이 찬로 요레베
다 단데 디게 게이 단나 배서글 더비 나 자나 쇼게 단다 봐도 게니 시주세 지요 리나는 조데 벽에데 제하게 니 차대고 댕에게 미리랑조 서구 팀 더부서입니다. 다 다들 차가 팀 디나라 군조 태간 라베야 가르라서 야게데 장국이 요였다 야게 답에 제국이 요서 세부시부지 이메 있는 소수 벽에 더부든 소수 미르 소수게 되는 장국이 요래 딜레 팀 돈에 템베 개체요 말이야. 디 인도 슈마토기 게니기 시주디라 다 가게데 조체하게디 다 팀도라는 템베 잡았다고 다 내가 라 로스 저런 저자도 라레타버도 다 군조 요땅 차요 요땅보다 팀도는 다 군조 지금 템베 잡았다고 차네.
다 배나로라 여바 시바 요르 크란스 베시 땅고 요르 아니 베기 토라 다 자토라 레니 까메난고도 아니 베기 지 타니 된소 힝도에 타파츠 따야게 든리기 지 탈람나수 지고 토니 크란스기 지 쳇시다 만제 토니 다기 힌터라 메마고 고토 베야게 든리 지응고도 다 된소 응니 자니 효친 때바나 다 테가티 that setting deal 카테 다고지다 된소 그다 준대바 매바 무슨 되고라고 차고요.
니 책이요 말이 소수도 미리 니 게르기 소수 미리 있게 잡아다 다게 전화 장바다 된도 토르 팀 리그 단대 개발해요 말. 니 인도 소수 다 파마 있는 파면 소수 보고를 지게 소라야 범인 농주 편주 벽에 장고기 여러게 그마 제발라디 팀 리그 해고지 저와 책이요 말. 팀 리그 로스 직주위에 로스 자샤 돌는다 다 숑이 내고 다 다 딘주 돌 컨트롤 때 나왔죠. 니 인도 단다다 변나를 저 통남부터 태가 있는 로추라 망고나를 장아 쇼그 팀 나서 오래 저 랑이 미리 오승적 제야를 저 베트남부터 단데 이메네 단대 팀 사바데 레브 인베네 소소제 탑체 사바니체 소소 미리 게다 미리 리숑도 숨겹제 다 표지 부지 제하게다 아 누바데 돈 토야게 고급 지어를 내라 적나바 이게 난 도그리 생도 남 능게 생도
그래서 보충라 탐이 좋아데 다 변나로라 딘디기 팀랑 스웨체네 벽기 냠니 땅에 팀랑지 찬도기요레 다 전슈 주소 남송아 나로랑 수 라마 여다 바이요레 드리 까메나니 나션 가시치 까메나수 크란수 까메남 드리 페바다 할레바레 이나야 도서 참아 까메도서 참아 인지 토르라는 거요레 아니 전슈 주소로 충안 주치 때니 다 벽기 지 공패 빼 땅야다 돈소라 초바다 지 게파레 슝제 돈소 참아게 이문이터니 드링 뒤서 들지 징디 미세 닐지 장고에 가린다고 요나
아디 생고 사바체 생고 사바디 귤 시주 사바치 공바 셰고에 내가 참 보시부 차테 이메는 그 나로도 말로 전주 나로 이마 지도랑 나래다 대가도 그 벽에 토는 지 롭스 규림 토 롭좀 나야 레시 고 주차요로 대도 망고 친 사바 니 중대 있는 단다 도연대 버지 도연 거 대 이도 고 무트는 슈크처 땅야다 대 롭대 나 림베나 딘나야 찍다 밤에네 소주 부고다래 다 되는 시지 자가기 고유 치료리에 다 무슨 농조 개급다 위날 미리서 예면은 아주 이게 나라 찍내가 맥세 가르스나 아주 자가 더블 되면 망고 동조 매빈데 밤에 부고를 농조 야고 체 모두 붙임받다 야 나는 분미 직도 더블 찍나 저게 즉 সং계라 농조 된다 나야 거가 마대면은 니야 즉 중팀톤 멤버 저 양주 투쇼 팀에 균에 된데 게들 양주 용 시글 인베다 다들 잘 변화돼 양주의 경계를 양주 서구 잠마세 아메리카 답이나 서구 망고진을 별이 지금 뒤쪽에 와라 지금 선주럽다 된저 된저 돈에 저 부위를 납제 칼라 강삼 부 예밖에 보고 있는 저 사계 통계 신보다 지금 블루 신보다 소수 미리 모두를 뺀다들이 가면랑의 혼주 예배네 다리지 챙아 대지 금일 매번 금일 매번 돼도 소수시 금일 সং계 저 고다대야 된다고 고도 인지게 겨마 고도 이베이나 가지고 멋싱에 다를 벽에 여기를 건조 벽이 신기를 그래서 닌데도 먼저 대 사무대다 저 공부들 저 띵사부터 토야 될 된 그거 테블습니다.
그래서 가든체 제시베도 랭고 공게 냠신 겐즈 프로듀서라 가든체
그거는 도점.
그래서 저 드리델라 저 추초 지니 하스지 드리가 노고게 캠베시에서 니마 사보 드리진도 드링게 다시 노고 델라 바빠 지부 많이 봐야지 자미게 마우스 때네와 드리 고차다 아니 외거게 고차 드리페 아니 크란스게 다시 장니 머르도서 참아 튼디게 토니 아니 자나게 단다지 머리 튼디게 친 라터시아 딜 파 고트 ngobo heta kandi chege me koransu ge yanchi kame ji notebook tone sona so ani nga chu de niyen ga shi chi la ta do muti chan shi gi
Shame on China! Shame on China! Shame on China! Shame on China! China out of Tibet now! China out of Tibet now! Human rights in Tibet! Human rights in Tibet! Human rights in Tibet! Human rights for Tibetans! 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 Stop the killings in Tibet! Stop the killing in Tibet! Stop the killings in Tibet! Stop the killing in Tibet! China out of Tibet now! China out of Tibet now! I'm gonna be about like which is part of my